So when COVID hit, we noticed that there was a huge strain on our primary care practices. I kind of was looking around and seeing that the nurses in my clinic were not taking breaks to have lunch. They barely even had time to step away to go to the bathroom, and their voices were like sore at the end of the day. So they were just burning the candle at both ends. And, the clinicians were also pretty stressed as well. And we looked around the country and we noticed that in that first week, practices across the country were reporting the same story, that they were really at risk of collapsing because of the volume of calls that were coming in. So we were really figuring out, like, how are we going to support our patients when they're so nervous, potentially very sick, and they all need to have fairly complex conversations about things that we don't really fully understand. So what we set out to do at the COVID Connected Care Center was to develop a nurse triage line that could provide that kind of care. And so we made this available to patients at OHSU and also people that didn't have a primary care doctor. And so we had this target that we were all charging towards, and all the old barriers didn't seem to matter anymore. It was like, if we needed some resource to make something happen, we just asked for it and made sure that we got it. And the bureaucracy, the red tape, a lot of that stuff just was kind of put in its place, as far as like it just didn't seem as important. And I think there was mutual respect and collaboration and a desire to serve the patients first, kind of no matter what the cost was. We've started to transition our thinking from kind of a short-term intervention into more sustainability thinking. And so these nurses have been at it for a long time, and they're really very dedicated, and really inspiring in the amount of work that they do and the kind of care that they're able to provide. And they're getting tired. And I think everyone's getting tired. The sort of sacrifices and the late nights and the working on the weekends builds up, and it carries in my body and it carries in my relationships, and that is sad. Um, I guess what I had been thinking before was that COVID changed everything, and I was seeing the incredible excitement around everything, and I was seeing how we were working together much more collaboratively. But just more recently, I realized that everything's actually still the same. Like, we can't take care of other people if we don't take care of ourselves, and that the pace of work is not sustainable. I think the hotline team really felt like we could put a dent into the pandemic, at least in Oregon. And I think we did make an impact, but there's so many other factors at play. And so when you start seeing that curve bumping back up and you start thinking about why that's the case, where the gaps in leadership are, how structural racism is kind of real, and impacting this, our ability to respond, we realize that we can't do this alone. And as hard as we can work and as great of a like small system we can build, that's not a solution. Like, change takes energy, and to rethink what we're doing is hard, and to change directions is hard. It's much harder than just working harder in the same system, but we can't kind of let go, because we have to do this because people are dying, and so, um, and we have the ability to change it, and so we have to.